Hi, I'm Jake, 33, and 3 weeks ago, my relationship of 4 years exploded over a single question. What are you up to tonight? That's it. I was standing in the kitchen, scrambling eggs, asking Jessica, my girlfriend, a totally normal, domestic question. And suddenly, she slammed her coffee mug down and snapped, "Why do you always have to know where I am? Why can't you just trust me?" It was like I'd stepped on a landmine I didn't even know existed. She went on this monologue about how I'm suffocating her, how my need to check in was toxic behavior her therapist had warned her about. Meanwhile, I'm holding a spatula, wondering if I'm losing my mind. I mean, I ask once or twice a week. Not to spy, just to know if I should cook for two or one. Apparently, that was now abuse. So, I sat my coffee down and said quietly, "You know what? You're right. I've been controlling. I'm sorry." She blinked shut. "You are?" "Yeah," I said. "From now on, I won't ask where you're going or what you're doing. And to be fair, I'll stop sharing my location too. Your business is your business." Her face twitched like she just stepped into a trap but didn't know where. "That's not necessary," she stammered. No, it's fair," I smiled, turning off location sharing right there at the breakfast table. She looked uncomfortable. And just like that, a quiet little shift began, invisible but seismic. The next few days, she started acting weirdly interested in my schedule. "Got plans tonight?" "Maybe," I'd say. "You?" She'd squint like I was hiding nuclear codes. By the end of week 2, she was the one asking where I was. And I just kept giving her the same line she'd given me. "Why do you need to know? That's controlling." It was kind of funny at first. Then came Friday. She told me she was going away for a girls' weekend. Said she'd be back Sunday night. I said, "Have fun," and didn't even look up from my laptop. She seemed disappointed. Maybe she expected me to protest. But I didn't. What she didn't know was that I had plans too. See, my buddy Tom was having his bachelor party in Vegas, and I'd originally turned it down because Jessica always freaked out about Vegas. Too wild, too risky. But now, since we were giving each other space, I figured fair's fair. So, an hour after she left, I grabbed my already packed bag and headed for the airport. No texts, no calls, no check-ins. Just me, Vegas, and a long overdue weekend of freedom. Vegas was like a reset button I didn't know I needed. No drama, no suspicion, no silent judgment hovering in the corner of the room like a ghost with opinions. Just me, the guys, and 48 hours of bad decisions that somehow felt completely sane. We played poker till sunrise. Too much. Watched Tom, the groom, try to dance on a table before gravity reminded him he's 35. No strippers, no scandals, nothing sordid. Just laughter, hangovers, and the kind of brotherhood you forget you need when you've spent years walking on eggshells in your own apartment. I didn't post a thing. Didn't even take pictures. I just existed. And for the first time in months, my phone stayed quiet. "No, where are you?" texts. "No, we need to talk." Just peace. Until Sunday afternoon. I'm at the airport, eating a burrito the size of my forearm, when my phone starts exploding. 63 missed calls. Over 100 texts. All from Jessica. At first, I thought something terrible had happened. Accident, break-in, something. Then I start scrolling. "Where are you? This isn't funny. Your location is off. I'm calling the police. Are you okay?" I texted back one line. "I'm fine. Out with friends. Be home later." Instantly, the phone rings again. I let it go to voicemail. It rings again. And again. Finally I answer. "Where the hell are you?" she screams. "Why do you need to know?" I said evenly. "That's controlling. This is different." "Is it? You've been gone all weekend." "So have you." Dead silence. Then, "I told you I was having a girls' weekend. And I'm having a boys' weekend." "Where?" "Doesn't matter. I'll be home tonight." If you don't tell me where you are right now, we're done. I paused. Okay. When I walked in around 10 that night, she was waiting on the couch, mascara running, eyes red. Her phone in her hand like a weapon. Vegas? She said, voice trembling. You went to Vegas? Yep. Without telling me? You went somewhere without telling me too. I was at a spa retreat with my sister. I was at a bachelor party with friends. That's completely different. How? Because it's Vegas. You could have been doing anything. Like what? Strippers, gambling, cheating. Did you cheat at your spa retreat? What? No. Then why would you assume I did? Her mouth opened, then closed. No answer. And that's when it hit me, she didn't care about trust. She cared about control. Trust was only convenient when it worked one way. I showered, unpacked, and went to bed. She stayed up, scrolling, crying, and probably rewriting history in her head. And somewhere between her 50th sniffle and my second REM cycle, I realized something else. The moment I stopped playing defense, she lost her balance entirely. And the real unraveling? It hadn't even started yet. Monday morning, she acted like nothing happened. French toast on the table, fresh coffee, my favorite mug, the one she broke last month and apparently resurrected overnight. She was smiling like a Stepford wife reboot. Morning, baby, she chirped. I made breakfast. Thanks, I said, sitting down cautiously, waiting for the emotional booby trap. So, she said sweetly, we're good now, right? Good. You know, with the whole Vegas misunderstanding. But that misunderstanding where I followed your rules. Her smile cracked. Jake, I might have overreacted. It's actually nice knowing where each other is, you know? For safety. I nodded. Safety. The thing that was toxic last week. I was just emotional, she said. Your therapist said. She froze. Maybe I misunderstood what she said. I leaned back. Jessica, does this therapist actually exist? She blinked. Of course she does. When's your next appointment? That's private. Of course it is. Her eyes darted, guilt swirling just under the surface. We both knew. That afternoon, her best friend Megan called. What did you do to Jessica? She demanded. I went to Vegas for a bachelor party. Without telling her? She went to a spa weekend without telling me. We agreed we didn't need to know where each other was. That's different. She's a woman. I actually laughed. Excuse me? Women need emotional security. Men who track their girlfriends are controlling. So it's not a double standard, it's a gender feature. Exactly. She hung up. Tuesday, it escalated. Jessica's mom called. Jake, I heard you've been emotionally abusive. By what? Respecting your daughter's need for space? You vanished to Las Vegas. She vanished to a spa. Equal trade. That's different, her mom said, just like the others. It was starting to feel like a cult, everyone reading from the same script, each line stamped with rules that only apply to men. Wednesday night, Jessica came home at 11 p.m. smelled like a department store's men's fragrance section. Fun night? I asked. Yeah, drinks with coworkers. Cool. She waited, bracing for interrogation. None came. Don't you want to know who was there? Nope. It was a group thing. Brett was there too. Brett? Yeah, Brett. From accounting. The guy you've said is, like a brother? She tensed. Why does that matter? It doesn't. Have a good night. She stared at me, furious. You really don't care, do you? I care. I just don't control. That's what you wanted, right? Her lip quivered. She went to bed in silence. And for the first time, I realized something dangerous, not for me but for her. Jessica didn't want equality. She wanted chaos she could control. And when I refused to play the role, the game started eating itself. I didn't know it yet, but the next night, she'd cross a line she couldn't uncross. and the mask she wore so perfectly was about to crack, all the way down the middle. Thursday night, I came home to find Jessica sitting cross-legged on the couch, my phone in her hand. Not a phone, my phone. Unlocked. Her face went pale the second I walked in. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Nothing." "Really? Because it looks like you're violating my privacy, you know that thing you said I was doing to you?" Her voice pitched up. "God, why are you so paranoid?" I just stared at her. "You literally broke into my phone, Jessica." "I wasn't breaking in. Couples share phones." "Since when?" "Since always. Unless you have something to hide." "Like you hiding your phone lately?" Her mouth opened shut, then she deflected. "You're twisting this." I took my phone back and scrolled through the last few open screens. She'd gone through messages, email, even my notes app. Then, something hit me, a familiar face in my mind. Brett. So, I pulled up her Instagram. And there it was, a tagged story from 2 weekends ago, her at a club, dancing a little too close with Brett. The weekend she said she was too tired to go out. I turned the screen toward her. "Explain this." She froze. "You're stalking my social media now?" "It's public, Jessica. Your friend tagged you." "That was nothing. We were just dancing, as friends." In a relationship, you tell your partner when you're grinding with other men at clubs. You're being controlling again. No. I'm pointing out the double standard. I can't go to Vegas with the guys, but you can body roll with Brett. Her jaw clenched. "That's different." "Right," I said. "Everything's different when you're the one doing it." She grabbed her keys, stormed out, and came back 2 hours later, drunk. Slamming the door like punctuation. "You know what your problem is?" she slurred, mascara half gone. "You don't fight for me. You don't care enough to be jealous. You're drunk. Go to bed." Brett would be jealous. Brett would care. Then date Brett. She wobbled, tears spilling. "Maybe I will. He appreciates me. Good for Brett. I could have slept with him tonight, but I didn't. Congratulations on basic loyalty." Her face twisted, anger and shame mixing like cheap wine. "You're such an, I'm done. We're over." I nodded. "Good. I'll start looking for a new place tomorrow." That sobered her instantly. "What? This is just a fight. You just dumped me." "I didn't mean it." "You meant it enough to say it. You can't just leave. Watch me." She stared at me, part fury, part panic, realizing for the first time that her threats didn't work anymore. She wasn't the center of my emotional solar system. And when the gravity breaks, the planets drift. The next morning, my phone started buzzing with texts. Megan. Her mom. Each one saying a version of the same thing. "She's sorry. She's scared. Please don't go." But it wasn't fear of losing me. It was fear of losing control. And I'd already made up my mind. She'd find out just how serious I was that very night. Friday night, I was knee-deep in cardboard boxes, wrapping dishes in newspaper, when the door opened, and in walked Jessica. With Brett. No warning. No text. Just the two of them standing there like an awkward sitcom crossover. Brett looked around, trying to puff his chest up like a peacock on stilts. "What's going on here?" he asked, voice cracking halfway through. "I'm moving out," I said, calm as a monk. "You two have fun." Jessica's face twisted into panic. "You're not actually leaving." "Got a viewing tomorrow. Found a place downtown." Brett stepped forward, clearly trying to be the man in the situation. "Actually, bro, maybe Jessica should keep the apartment. It's the gentlemanly thing to do." I laughed. Out loud. "Brett, the lease is in my name. I pay the rent. Jessica's been living here rent-free for a year because she's been between jobs." Brett blinked. "You live here for free?" Jessica's voice jumped an octave. "It's not like that. We're partners. We share everything." "We did," I said, "when she needed it. But when I asked where she was, it was controlling." Remember? Brett looked from me to her, connecting dots he didn't want to. You were at the club that night, he muttered. Brett, not now, Jessica hissed. You said you were single. We were basically broken up. We literally had dinner together that night, I added, helpfully. Brett's face turned red, the realization dawning slow and painful. You said you've been broken up for weeks. Jessica's mouth opened, but no words came out. Brett exhaled, shaking his head. Yeah, I need to go. He walked out. Jessica chased after him, shouting something about, it's complicated. They argued in the hallway for 10 minutes before the elevator dinged and ended it for them. When she came back, she looked like a storm that had lost its lightning. Look what you did, she screamed. I stated facts. Brett drew his own conclusions. You ruined everything. I thought I was giving you what you wanted. Freedom. Brett. She burst into tears, grabbed a bottle of wine, and started posting cryptic Instagram stories about toxic people and healing energy. By Saturday morning, she was on the phone with her dad. Crying. Dramatic. Daddy, I need help. He's abandoning me. I could hear his voice through the speaker. Don't worry, sweetheart, I'll handle this. An hour later, knock, knock. Her parents walked in like they were serving an eviction notice to a butler. Her dad, Robert, all blazer and ego. Her mom, Diane, pearls and judgment. Sit down, young man, Robert commanded. I'm good standing, I replied. He frowned. My daughter has invested 4 years in this relationship. She deserves compensation. I almost spit out my coffee. Compensation. For emotional labor. Domestic contributions. Career sacrifices. She hasn't worked in a year, I said. I do most of the cooking and cleaning. What career did she sacrifice? Diane stepped in. She gave up opportunities to be with you. Which ones? The photography business. The lifestyle blog. The 3 MLMs? I interrupted. She quit all of them. Robert actually pulled out a checkbook. What will it take for you to let her keep the apartment? It's not about money. She can't afford it. Get her another place. She wants this one, he said. She can't even get mail here. Everything still goes to my address. Jessica started crying again. Why are you being so cruel? I'm not. I'm just finally following the same rules you made up. Robert stood up, glaring. You'll regret this. I know people. Cool, I said. So do I. I work for the federal government. They left in a huff, leaving Jessica sniffling among the boxes. By Sunday, the movers were scheduled, and I was counting the hours until I'd be free. But before I left, Jessica had one last trick to play. And it was a low one. Sunday morning. The movers were hauling boxes, wrapping furniture, laughing quietly like they'd walked into a soap opera set. Jessica came out of the bedroom in lingerie, full makeup, hair done, perfume cloud thick enough to choke a horse. Remember when we first moved in? She said softly, stepping close. We christened every room. Jessica, I sighed, the movers are literally right there. She smiled, that same smile she used to get out of speeding tickets. We could try again. Work things out. Forget all this nonsense. I stared at her for a long moment. The nonsense where you emotionally cheated with Brett for months? It wasn't cheating. We just talked. About how much you wanted to be with him? I was confused. And now? I choose you. Because Brett ran away when he realized you lied? Her face hardened instantly, like flipping a switch. You're going to regret this. Probably not. As the last box rolled out the door, she took a deep breath and played her trump card. I'm pregnant. The room went still. The movers froze mid-step. I turned slowly. No, you're not. Her voice cracked. How would you know? Because we haven't had sex in 2 months. You've been too tired or too stressed. And 3 days ago, you were drinking wine straight from the bottle. She blinked rapidly. I wasn't Save it, Jessica. Her shoulders sagged, mascara streaking down. No more words. Just silence. I left her standing there as the door closed behind me. It's been a week now. My new apartment is smaller, quieter, cleaner, and completely mine. No shouting. No games. No double standards. Just peace. Jessica tried every trick in the book after I left. The mutual friends outreach campaign. 7 different people texting me about how she just wants to talk. Then the social media crusade. Posts about narcissists, emotional manipulation, healing from toxicity. Half her followers cheered her on, the other half called her out. Someone even commented, "Didn't you tell me last month you were dating Brett?" She deleted that one fast. By midweek, I got a call from my old landlord. "Your ex changed the locks," he said. "Claims she's your common-law wife." I laughed. "We don't have common-law marriage in this state. She's a guest who won't leave." "Good," he said. "Then she's trespassing." Eviction notice filed the next morning. Then Friday, Brett called me. "Yeah, Brett." He looked like a ghost who'd seen too many red flags and ignored all of them. "She won't leave me alone," he said. Hundreds of texts. Showed up at my place. Called my mom. I sipped my coffee. "She told you I was controlling, didn't she?" He nodded miserably. "She said you wouldn't let her leave. And now she says she'll kill herself if I don't date her. Call the police. File a report. Block her. Don't feed the fire." He sighed. "Already did." Saturday night, there was banging on my door. Jessica, drunk, with her sister. "You ruined my life," she yelled. "No, Jessica. You just lost your audience." They were escorted out by security 10 minutes later. Sunday, I got a text from an unknown number. "This is Robert. Jessica's in the hospital. Suicide attempt. This is on you." I didn't answer. Instead, I called the hospitals myself. No Jessica anywhere. Then I called her sister. "She's by the pool drinking mimosas," Ashley said. "Why?" "No reason. Thanks." I sent a screenshot of that message to Robert. "Lying about suicide is disgusting. Don't contact me again." The next day, she posted an Instagram photo, on a yacht, with a man old enough to rent himself out as a historical landmark. Caption, "Sometimes you have to trade up. #luxury life, #blessed." Tom texted me the screenshot with one line. "You dodged a missile, bro." I did. The old apartment's trashed. She's being sued for damages. She even tried to forward my mail to her parents' house. Which, fun fact, is a federal crime. Now the postal inspector's involved, and her dad's begging me to drop it. I told him, "I don't control the government. You should have taught her that actions have consequences." And then, quiet. No texts. No calls. No chaos. Now I sit in my small, peaceful apartment, eating takeout, watching the game. My location is off. No one knows where I am. No one's tracking me, questioning me, performing trust while practicing deceit. Jessica once told me I was controlling because I cared about where she was. So I stopped caring. And the moment I did, her world fell apart. It wasn't about control. It was about her needing to do whatever she wanted while keeping me as a safety net. Now that net's gone. Maybe she's still out there, chasing someone new to blame. But me? I'm finally free. For years wasted? 4 years of tuition in the most expensive course imaginable, How to Grow a Spine 101. And the first lesson, never apologize for turning off your location.